How's it going, everyone? This is your Astrology Horoscope for Friday, April 5th, 2024. I'm astrologer Skyles, and welcome to the Moon Base. Hope you guys are having a great week. It's wonderful to be here with all of you. Thank you again for the happy birthday wishes. It really means a lot, and I had a great day, and I feel great, and I'm 33, and it's fucking feeling good. So today, this moon is not really making any aspects until it comes into Pisces. It's going to leave Aquarius. Then it will conjunct Mars as we move throughout the day. So the moon is kind of not doing much until it gets to Mars. So the moon coming into Pisces, things can get, elevated here spiritually. So, there's this kind of dreamy energy coming in today, We just got off this Venus-Neptune conjunction. So with Mars and the moon and Saturn getting ready to meet up in Pisces, that Pisces energy is really activated. But here's the thing. Once the moon comes to 0 degrees of Pisces, Venus ingresses into Aries. So it's like, we're not going to have 5 planets in Pisces or 5 bodies in Pisces. We're still going to remain to have 4 bodies in Pisces. The moon's not a planet, it's an illuminary. So now that Venus is in Aries, Venus is starting a new cycle. So when it comes to our values, our love life, our creative projects, we can start to really feel renewed. Again, the sluggishness could start to fade when it comes to that area of our lives. But now with the moon coming in here to Pisces, it's like, it's okay to fall into a more spiritual dimension as this moon moves to Pisces. Because here's the thing, is that once this moon gets close to Mars and Saturn, the moon's going to move into its balsamic phase. So the moon is going to be completely dark right before this eclipse. So this is a very intense moment, and it's going way far out. This moon is going to go way far out. It's going to feel like there's not much physical matter to hold on to when this moon comes into its balsamic phase here. Later in the day when it will conjunct Mars, and then coming into that. So the balsamic phase is like about 45 degrees away from where the sun is at, where the new moon will be, right? So with this moon in Pisces, we can definitely want to check out of reality, not want to, do too much real shit. We want to escape from the hustle and the bustle. And that's what this Mars in Pisces also feels like it wants to do. But I think, too, as Venus is really changing into a fire sign, our Venus area can feel lit up, right? So we got the sun here. Venus doesn't do great in Aries. It's like it wants to move very quickly. Venus is more patient and methodical, but Aries wants to move very quick. So this is that, like, I want it quick now. I want to get this now. I want to feel good right now. Like, I ain't got time to waste, right? To feel good and to get what I need. To get my resources, to get my money, to get my fix, to get my meal. It's like when you're waiting, when you're sitting at a table and you're waiting on your food, you're just like, hey, I've been sitting here for 2 minutes. Where's my food? Right? This is that Venus Aries kind of energy. I need to eat that shit now. 2 minutes is too long. So, but Venus in Aries is also that energy. It's like it doesn't really last long in the sack, right? It's that, like, kind of blow its load too early. So I think it feels good to finally have a renewed Venus energy, even though Venus is exalted Pisces and it's very dreamy, it's very loving and spiritual and compassionate, especially with the Neptune conjunction and with Saturn. It's like, we just made a lot of commitments long term in our romantic lives and what we want, whether we're with a partner or we're making creative connections and partnerships or financial or visualizing. This is Venus Neptune. It's just being able to visualize. This is what I want. Even if you're single or you don't have, the business partnerships and connections that you want now, or the creative connections or partnerships that you have, or you want, at least with this Venus and Pisces and this Venus-Neptune conjunction, it has allowed us to visualize what we want that future to be. So, with this moon now in Pisces, when is it going to conjunct Mars here? So later in the day, right around the evening, in the west, this moon will conjunct Mars in Pisces. So this is when the moon is starting to move into its balsamic phase. So, this moon-Mars conjunction, it's like it can get very physical and non-physical at the same time, right? It's weird because Mars is in Pisces. Mars is very physical, and Pisces is everything that's non-physical. So it's just like, where is reality? What can I hold on to so I can at least know where I'm at in time? And it's like, I think too, going through this balsamic phase, it can feel very unsettling, when it comes to being able to discern what's real, what's reality, and having boundaries, between, and knowing your boundaries. This moon will conjunct Saturn tomorrow, going into tomorrow, but the fact that the moon will be in between Mars and Mars and Saturn are two malefic planets here. It's like, this moon is feeling very heavy. There is this emotional heaviness too, but it's like when the moon conjuncts Mars, it's like when things start to feel heavy, we gotta put things into motion, and definitely when it comes to Pisces, it's like we gotta do things that are more connected to our higher consciousness, and our spirituality, things that are physical, whether it's yoga or meditation and all that kind of shit, Our dreams are going to be off the charts, This is when our dreams start to feel very physical, this moon-Mars conjunction in Pisces. So I think our dream states can be very active over the next day or two, especially in this balsamic phase. But dreams can get a little fucking wild, with this moon being completely hidden, coming into its dark phase. We call it the balsamic moon. We call it the dark moon. Whatever the hell you want to call it. We can't see that shit. So, and we're getting ready to head into the most powerful eclipse of the year. It's completing that X, that the last eclipse in October with, the path, is creating an X through the U.S. here. So there's going to be a lot of changes here in the United States, and we can already see that building up. I mean, we know what's going on. So big changes are happening in our lives. Definitely in my personal life, I'm having some massive changes that are very positive. It's nothing to be scared of. I'm so sick of seeing so much fear going on in the astrology world. I understand that there's a lot of dark shit going on, but at the end of the day, we can't control that stuff. And that's what Aries reminds us, and that's, the cardinal signs. Capricorn is more of those higher realms that, us as individuals, we can't do nothing about. We got to stay in our own power, stay in our own identity, and manifest our own life, right? So that's what this eclipse is about, is, bringing massive change into our life. And now Venus is in Aries, so when it comes to our values are going to change a whole bunch. And over the next year, by the next, 8 months or so, once, we get out of this nodal cycle with the North Node, South Node, and Aries and Libra, the North Node will come into Pisces. So we'll be in a whole new karmic territory there. So, this is great. I mean, I'm excited about this eclipse. I'm not scared of any of it. What I am scared of is, actually, I'm not scared of anything, but what, I don't want to allow to consume me personally is the fear that wants to manipulate, This Pluto in Aquarius is just kind of alone right now. It's just kind of, you don't really know what's going on in the shadows, what's going on underneath the surface, And I think with this moon Mars too, and Saturn and Neptune and Pisces, hidden things can start to bubble up, some deception can start to bubble up here too, especially in the dark moon. This is when dark hidden things can really like come up to the surface, or things being done in secret right now, things being done behind the scenes. I think with this dark moon in Pisces, it's like we want to focus on doing things behind the scenes before we get to this new moon. Then we can fucking burst out and fucking be our wild Aries self. But right now, it's like we want to go inward as much as we can, regenerate, get some rest, catch up on things, Don't worry about being seen right now. Don't worry about being too far, in the real world. I mean, this moon in Pisces and the dark moon, it's like, it's okay to kind of step in the shadows a bit and step out of the light and focus on things behind the scenes before we get to start this new cycle. Because I think this new moon in Aries, to me, that's how I always feel every year too. It's like, well, the sun comes into Aries. We have the solar new year, the astrological new year in the northern hemisphere. And that's great. And we say, oh, it's the happy new year. The sun's in Aries. The sun is renewed. But I always feel like the new year really starts is when we have that Aries new moon. This is when we really start to feel the newness and the refreshing energy come through fully. And now we're ready to start our new year. This new moon is when the moon and the sun come together in Aries. To me, that always feels like when, the new year really kicks off energetically, right? But when this moon is in its dark balsamic phase in Pisces, this is when things end. This is when cycles end, in ways that are beyond our control. When we're talking about Pisces, the 12th house, Neptune, it's all the things beyond our control, so this dark moon in Pisces, especially with Mars and Saturn, it can feel heavy. And this is bringing up a lot of endings, because this new moon in Aries solar eclipse is kicking off a lot of new beginnings. We just closed a lot of doors through this Libra lunar eclipse that we just went through 2 weeks ago. So this is a lot of endings happening right before this new moon, because now we're going to start to see all new things show up in our lives coming through this eclipse, So, if things start to feel heavy, you just want to check out, let the energy just move. We can't control the Pisces energy. It just has to do its thing. And we have to, it's like a psychedelic trip, right? It's like you just have to go through all the ways and through all the motions and all the emotions. And it's like, you want to snapshot all those feelings, all the highs and the lows, and remember all of them. So when we get to this new moon and the solar eclipse, like we have a baseline of like, what we've come through and come out of and what we've ended and what, we're stepping into now. Whole new territory, and Mercury's at 26 degrees retrograde. So it's, a degree off of where it went retrograde. So it's starting to, go full motion here in its retrograde, and the sun's at 16 degrees. So we have 3 more days till we get to the solar eclipse here. So, just don't let the heaviness like pull you in, just let the feelings and let the emotions come up, because there's going to be a lot of feelings and emotions coming up with this Pisces dark moon conjunct Mars and Saturn, and it can feel restless and unsettling, and it can feel like, you're detached and removed from reality, and trying to hold on to things, trying to hold on to something physical can be very hard right now, For the creative people, this is the great time, to really finish creative projects and get things done, and tap in spiritually, tap into that higher frequency. Like that's what this dark moon in Pisces is great for, But if you're trying too hard to like grasp onto reality, it's like, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be, it's going to be a big test, of faith, especially with this moon Saturn conjunction in the dark moon phase. So, lots of big tests coming through. I want to use the Thoth deck. I haven't used it in a while, and it's feeling like it wants to say something. I like this deck a lot. Here we go. What do we get here? Well, this is a very, very Aries card. We got the Two of Swords here. So, it's like we have a choice. Which way we want to take. This is an Aries card. This card's ruled by Mars. I don't know if you can see it. It's always really bright, but you can see the Aries symbol. You can see Mars up here. And it's very fiery. It's very intense, and this Moon-Mars conjunction with the Sun in Aries and its exaltation, Mars dispositing the Sun, now Venus and Mercury. This is a very fiery, intense time. And it's like, with the Two of Swords, it's like we have a choice, which path we want to take. And this is very much this Aries eclipse right here. There's only two paths we're going. It's either be stuck in the past or we're moving into the future. And that's what the North and South Node is all about. The South Node is our past life. The North Node is our future life and the direction that we're headed and the life we want to create and the karmic interplay between the South and North Node. And Aries is the cardinal sign. So Aries only goes one way, and that is forward. Mars and Aries only move forward, so we don't have a choice. So if you want to be stuck, it's going to be very hard. If you are on a path of moving forward, you're going to get to a good place, so God bless. God bless Aries season. This is a good one. This is very intense, Like I said, there's no need to fear the eclipse. Even people were starting to project fear. Oh, Natalie Sadie just texted me happy birthday. Well, thank you. There's no need to fear any of the astrology, Like, we're all divinely protected. That's why we're all here. That's why we've all come together, because we know that. I know that, Even if I were to die tomorrow, I know that it was what it was meant to be, and that's okay. I'm divinely protected, and the people who I love and care about are also divinely protected. So we always got to remember that, The fear is the mind killer. I forgot what movie that was from. The fear is the mind killer. If you know where that quote came from, leave it in the comment. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day. If you're new here, like my channel, like this channel, leave a comment, say what's up. All the links to all my social media platforms are in the description of this video. By the way, my Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Taurus reading sale is alive. So go book your slot for May and June. The first 2 weeks of May are booked out. But if you want to book for the end of May going into June, please do. This is a big, rare moment that we're moving into. So, I want to put a reading sale and, not just focus on that, but, I'm dedicating this reading sale to the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction because I think it's necessary. Maybe not necessary, but I think it's a good idea to really get a picture of where this is happening in your chart. So, yeah, that'll be live until June when Jupiter moves into Gemini. Yeah, I think I'll leave it up until the day Jupiter moves into Gemini, which I think is right around when Gemini season starts. So yeah, check that out, and I look forward to seeing you, and thank you all for being here, and I appreciate every single one of you, and I will see you all for the weekend. Peace out.